always say to people that the best of you is always in you, but the completion of you is going to visit you. I always say to people that the best of you is always in you, but the completion of you is going to visit you. I always say to people that the best of you is always in you, but the completion of you is going to visit you. I always say to people that the best of you is always in you, but the completion of you is going to visit you. I always say to people that the best of you is always in you, but the completion of you is going to visit you. I always say to people that the best of you is always in you, but the completion of you is going to visit you. I always say to people that the best of you is always in you, but the completion of you is going to visit you. always say to people that the best of you is always in you, but the completion of you is going to visit you.
Happy birthday to you.
Somebody's trying to call me so bad. Somebody's trying to call me so bad. I'm trying. I'm just trying to let somebody know I'm on live. I can't take a call. Okay. All righty. All right. I believe everyone can hear me, probably see me on Instagram, IG. I see you, Stephen Osawaru. Whoa, where have you been? Yes, good to see you all. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Twitter space. good to have you. Um, Facebook Live, good to have you. YouTube, good to have you. By popular demand, some people have been crying and insisting that I have to get on YouTube. You know, I have a different theory, but I've humbled myself now. So we're getting on YouTube. So I mean, check it out. We're coming up with a lot of things for the page to drive our movement. Right. So join the movement. Let's keep moving. LinkedIn. LinkedIn. If you are here on LinkedIn, thank you for coming here. Twitter, thank you for coming here. Facebook, thank you for coming here. X, rather, not Twitter. X, thank you for coming here. All right, people. We're just going to go now. I see a lot of greetings on all the platforms. Happy birthday greetings. Listen, I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. You guys know I don't go out of my way to do days, right? Christmas Day, I didn't post anything. New Year, I didn't post anything. For years, I don't post. I don't go wear pajamas. People who do so are not wrong. It's fine. I don't feel anything on those days, honestly. So growing up, you didn't have a choice. You do those things because it's popular energy. But 54, come on. If I don't do what, if I don't do me at this age, I'm going to babysit myself till the day I die. So all those days for me is just business for so many people. That's what I see. I don't see any other thing, right? So it doesn't bother me, but I honor those who celebrate it and I don't take it for granted. Thank you all for reaching out, all those who are sending me messages. Some people send me gifts. I don't take it for granted. You know, I got some alert in my account, you know, and I had to chase to find out who's doing that, you know, but I'm used to it. It comes in every year like that. I'm grateful. I don't take it for granted. Um, you get stuff for gifts that people work for a whole year to get, and you get it like that as a gift. It means a lot, right? And that even unsolicited, completely unsolicited. So I don't take it for granted. I appreciate it. All right. So our conversation today is simple, guys. IG people. So I am on multiple platforms at the same time. I'm on IG, I'm on Facebook, I'm on X, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm on YouTube as well. So whatever you can catch, whatever the shape of my position is or my head is, take it like that. Just take it like that. So what we have to talk about today is very important for me. It's strange that it fell on my birthday. It's not the plan at all. I had no intention whatsoever to do this on my birthday. As a matter of fact, the initial date was February 8th because on my birthday, I don't do anything. I just shut down. And in the evening, I go to a particular place as a ritual with family to eat. It's a ritual. And that is all I do. I'm trying to keep that going. But for so many reasons, the way that things pan out on my side, I couldn't do it yesterday. Yesterday was so high tempo. There was no room. So I knew it was going to happen. So I had to call the team to say, you know what, put it out for today. I'm just going to find time to do it today. Today is always a very reflective moment for me, inundated with greetings and so many messages. So I try to stay true to the energy without going public, right? But I have to go public. This year, I started for me with a lot of intensity, a lot of planning, a lot of strategic positionings and reorganizing and repositionings, like I said. So, but about the 7th of January, about the 7th of January, Everybody knows that every January I come out with my Indaba, where I do my foresighting, my strategic foresighting predictions for the new year. And I stretch all the way to the decade. And I've been speaking on 2030 since 2018. Anyone who has followed my work anywhere knows that since 2018, I have consistently tried to give people an insight into what is going on versus what is happening, what I see versus what people must understand, right? And I've tried to continue to communicate that on different level. It has been greeted with a lot of persecution at different another level. It has been greeted with a lot of acceptance, celebration, all manner of experiences have greeted those, communications. But I really don't care, to be honest. What is most important is a future has come. And the future that has come is insisting that we are a type of people. Now, at every point in history, no matter what is going on, there are always winners, there are always losers, there are always victims, there are always casualties. There are those who will prosper, and there are those who will be poor. There are those who will succeed. There are those who are consistently experiencing failure. And there's no articulation against that. The way I put that out is that somebody has to be foolish for wisdom to continue to have value, value of any kind. Somebody must be foolish for wisdom to continue to have value. Value at any level is the idea that if everybody can be wise, if what is common in the world is wisdom, and foolishness is what is rare, right? Then there will be a reward for being foolish. The KPIs in company will be measuring destruction, will be measuring lethality, will be measuring foolishness, will be measuring evil, right? A lot of the job descriptions will be targeting how to manifest evil on a scale. People will be working to be stupid, to be foolish. Why? Because foolishness is rare. The value of a thing at the base is the rarity of it. Gold, anything in the world is not expensive or valuable because they shine or because they are designed in a particular way or anything. It's the rarity of an idea that determines its value. The reason why gold is expensive is because you don't pick it on the street like you pick a stone on the street. It's a precious stone. What makes it a precious stone is not because it's shining. As a matter of fact, raw gold doesn't shine, right? So it's not because it's shining. It's the idea that you can't pick it on the ground like every other stone. It's a precious stone. The same thing for diamond. You don't just go to the next house, come out of your house and see diamonds on the floor. If you can find anything available for everybody, it cannot be valuable. That's why you are not paid to brush your teeth. That's why, because any fool can do that. That's why nobody pays you because you sleep well. Any fool can sleep well, right? So you are not paid for what everybody can do. You are not paid for what everybody can see, most importantly. So people camp around what people can do or not do. But I always tell people that's coming to the party too late. If you camp around what people cannot do and your whole mind is about doing, you will always be late, right? It's like people who say they want to be ready, people who believe in the experience of readiness. I always tell them, every time you are ready, you are late. If you are ready, when you finally say, hey guys, I'm ready, then you are late. Check it. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. Those who matter are gone already. You can't be planning on readiness. You learn to articulate your necessary initiative regardless of your readiness or unreadiness, right? I call it adventure capital. Adventure capital. The idea that there is always a better performance to whatever you are experiencing. There's always a better level for whatever level you are. There's always something ahead that needs to be understood, discerned, to see. And no matter how hard you work today, you are not going to finish the work. What needs to be done will never be complete. So, as long as you are in this side of heaven, your reality must be to embrace genius in the face of imperfection. Genius in the face of perfection is impractical. It's an impractical proposition. You are never going to get everything right to define your highest victories. Then you are a fool, and then you have locked yourself out, really, of the economy of growth. Part of how that works is to understand that imperfection is a strategy, it's a necessity. Whether we like it or not, it's just the way the universe functions, right? Somebody, something will always be incomplete. No matter who you are, no matter who gave birth to you, no matter where you are born or not born, no matter who is supporting you, no matter the geography you live in or don't live in, every one of us will have to master the weight of imperfection. If today is perfect, tomorrow will be unnecessary, right? If the Garden of Eden was perfect, the serpent will not be there. If Adam was perfect, Eve will be unnecessary, right? If iPhone 13 was perfect, there will never be iPhone 14. There will be no value for it. There will be no need for it. There will be no reward for the effort that will create it. So there will not be investment to its creation. You see what I'm saying? So whether you like it or not, imperfection is the journey of the human condition. It's the story of the human condition. The idea that the imperfections of today is the guarantee of engagement for tomorrow's people. That what is incomplete today is the guarantee of continuity for tomorrow's people. The people who miss that camp too much around today as if today has the capacity to communicate finality. No matter what is going on, today cannot communicate finality. Wisdom must teach us that no matter what we feel today, there is betterment ahead, because today is always a phase in our eventuality. Our eventuality itself is a journey, not a destination. As long as we breathe, there's something higher to conquer. So the thinking is to understand that finality cannot be captured in any 24 hours. It's not possible. There's no language, there's no adjective, there's no experience except death. The only activity in the human condition that can speak to finality is death. And that's why I tell people every time, stay with me, the opposite of failure, right? Sorry, the opposite of life is not death, since everybody will die. And death, therefore, becomes a constant. What is a constant for everybody cannot be the consequence for not living life. So the opposite of life cannot be death. That is the final wake up. But that wake up is not on this side, it's on the other side. It's the wake up that you are done, right? You can be prepared for it, or you can let it catch you unprepared, right? But you can't be afraid of it because it's a constant. If death is sure, then what kind of person ought you to be? Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. So part of the thinking is to understand that the opposite of life has to be purposelessness, not death, because everybody will die, right? So the opposite of life is death. Again, the opposite of success is not failure. The opposite of success is not failure, because failure is the very proof of the necessity of imperfection in the human condition. So no matter who you are, at every phase of your life, you are imperfect. There's no one born of a woman. that can supply perfect behavior as a residential experience. You can do that occasionally in different sparks of providence and allowance, right? But the best machine in the world, this wristwatch, your beautiful car, the spaceship going to the moon, the Rolls Royce just built, none of them can exist in their perfect state. Everything is in a state of sight, a state of a substantial state that we see, and everything is in a phase of development and a season of usefulness. Everything is in a state of existence that we see. Everything, the same thing that is in a state of existence at the same time, simultaneously, parallel to that, is in a phase of development. And everything also, as you see it, is in a season of usefulness. So no matter what is going on at any point in time, nothing can exist in its final state of usefulness or its final state of existence. No matter the brilliance, it will expire. No matter the genius, it will fade. No matter the power, it will fade. It is true for nations. It is true for businesses. It is true for individuals. It's true for families. No power is residential, and no power is permanent, and no force. You know, one of the lessons I learned very late in life, is that love is not self-sustaining. Love cannot sustain itself. I didn't know that. And I have to be honest to say I didn't know that. If, as a matter of fact, let me be honest with you. I don't think I could teach that. I could explain it. But it didn't really settle into me as I know my name and as I see myself on this screen right now talking to you. I did not fully understand that love is not self-sustaining until maybe 2 years ago. It's one of those qualities that are not self-sustaining. I understand that health is not self-sustaining. If you don't exercise, if you don't eat well, if you don't do all of that, you are just going to continue to, experience poverty in your health. You're just going to continue to retrogress and depreciate, right, in your health. It's just the way it is. So I knew that. I knew if you don't eat, you will die, right? I knew that those things are not self-sustaining. I knew that life itself, breath, is not self-sustaining. It will go. You can elongate when it goes. You can work hard to cooperate with the economics that define life, but you will go one day, right? So, but for some reason, it just didn't really occur to me at the level of clarity that will govern my thinking and behavior, that love is not self-sustaining, right? In the same way, most of the experiences in the human condition are in a raw, imperfect state. And part of our brilliance is the ability to manipulate matter. Matter is anything that has weight and occupies space. So shoes, cars, houses, and so many things fall into matter. And when we reward human genius, like people like Elon Musk, or people like Jeff Bezos, or Bill Gates, or John D. Rockefeller, or Thomas Edison, or Michael Faraday, or Nelson Mandela, and all these people, you find that what they have done, right, is to be able to give matter direction in tangible or intangible ways, directly or indirectly, right? So you have to be comfortable. If you can be perfect, if your business can be perfect, it will die tomorrow. It will die today, because there will be nothing to do tomorrow. There will be no motivation for coming to work every day, right? Tomorrow's people will have nothing to do if today's people can be perfect and do everything perfectly. That is why I have a problem with those who criticize, because somehow we always forget that the very fact of the problem is a clue to your own responsibility, because what you are criticizing on those who have gone ahead of you is essentially the very proof that you have something to do. If they get everything right, you will have nothing to do. So people must get it partially so that you can get it maximally in your own time. And on your best day in your own time, you will not get it perfectly as well. You will get it partially so that people coming after you can have something to do, right? We know in part, we prophesy in part, we think in part. Nobody gets it done one time. Now, I've said all of this. There's so much I can say about imperfection. Imperfection exists in the excellence of anything. In the excellence of this watch, the next level of this watch is in this watch as a loophole, as an imperfection. What tomorrow's people do is to find the imperfection in this watch and build solution blueprints around that imperfection to define the next level of this watch. If they don't do that, they will be indulged in the present weight and value of this watch. And what does that mean? They have set up themselves for disruption, right? Because you can't be loyal to what is working and forget it's going to change. You can't be loyal to what is working. It doesn't matter if it's a system, if it's a structure, if it's a business, if it's a marriage, if it's parenting, if it's friendship, no matter what it is, if it's a neighborhood, a community, a country, it doesn't matter what it is. You can't be so loyal to what is working and forget it's going to change. If you don't release your nimbleness to begin to articulate that change, anticipate that change, and articulate that change, somebody else will do who will disrupt you. Those who do and who are able to represent that change with products, services, models, theories, ideologies, philosophies, systems, structures, poems, song, fashion, whatever it is. Those who are able to do that are those who own. They are the masters of every generation. There will always be those who will be behind, who are going to consume so that those who create can be paid, whether you like it or not. Now you are going to choose what side of that divide you are going to belong to. You will consume as an individual. Your consumption is fine as long as you are producing something that other people are consuming. If all you are doing is working hard to consume, right, you are not forming capital. Capital formation is production as a constant. Less consumption plus depreciation. I hope you understand that, right? So you buy a shoe, consumption. You begin to polish the shoe, depreciation. You buy a car, consumption. You have to put gas in the car, depreciation. You buy a shirt, consumption. You have to go dry clean the shirt, depreciation. So depreciation, layman word, management, right? Management. Management of that which is being consumed. So good management can keep a shoe in your life for 10 years. Poor management can keep the shoe in your life for 2 days. The difference is the way you are managing. Good management or poor management is depreciation. When you add consumption to that, right, and then you take that on one side, consumption plus depreciation, then you take it out of what is being produced. Whatever is left is the capital you have formed, whether it's intellectual capital or it's monetary capital or it's reputation capital or it's adventure capital. It doesn't matter what capital it is. It doesn't matter what the capital is, right? There must be production constant, something big, massive, that humbles consumption and depreciation, that makes it look like nothing, and that keeps it as a necessary part of the human journey, not the human future. Consistent production is the human future. Now, having said that, it's a good foundation to let you know that the fact of imperfection necessitates that people think beyond doing. Doing is coming late. Seeing is the beginning of doing. Hearing is the beginning of doing. Now, you hear what you see. You see before you hear. Now, you will hear what you are seeing. You see pictures. you hear in pictures. I don't have time to explain that, but those who camp around what they do delegate what they see to some other people. But that's fine. As long as you are seeing what they are seeing and determining what you do based on what you see or what those who you trust are seeing. You are a slave the moment you are not seeing anything and all you are doing is doing and doing and doing and doing. So hustle is a lot of doing that is not preceded by seeing. When you don't see, when you are not seeing, you are going to do a lot. I don't believe in hard work, to be honest. I don't believe in hard work the way it is taught. They say that you have, listen, I know hardworking people who are miserable, working so hard, poor, struggling, right? It's not hard work. Now, I'm not going to call it smart work as well, because that is a symposium discussion. It sounds like good words. It doesn't really have a meaning if you expand it. What it is positioning. Positioning is doing only based on what you have seen and validated as the necessary platform of engagement. You have to see before you act. The moment you are not seeing physically, I mean literally, what is happening to you, you are blind. Now you can continue to move. Once you don't see, he doesn't stop you from moving. You are just now groping. You now need aid. You now need assistance, right? Now, the seeing eye is made by God. So when you see the Bible say stuff like the seeing eye, that is instructive, because there should not be seeing eye. What is that? Paradox? Or what is that really? Irony? I don't know what the figure of speech is. But the seeing eye, that's a lot. Because the eye should be seen. So there should not be seeing eye. There should just be eye. There should not be hearing here. There should just be here. When you read the seeing eye and the hearing here, that both are from the Lord, it automatically means there is eye that is not seen. There are ears that don't hear nothing, and there are eyes that don't see nothing. That is why we have a prayer actually that says that your eyes are blessed because they see. One of my favorite prayers in scripture. Your ears are blessed because they hear. And to you, it has been given to know the mysteries of the kingdom. So at a level, if you can't see, you are in the common economy of the majority. You are in that common energy of the majority. You are going to hustle till the day your eye open, if it ever does. So you don't hustle. You don't chase dreams. I've devoted a whole year of tour around the world on that. Some of the materials will be shared with the public soon. But trust me, you are not designed to pursue anything. Everything you want to pursue are designed to gravitate towards you. You are not designed to pursue dreams. Dreams are designed to pursue you. Dreams are designed to gravitate towards you, right? What you need to do with dreams is not to pursue the dreams, but to position for the dreams. You don't pursue dreams, you position for dreams. Now, it's taken me years, believe me, years to come to some of this conclusion of research, of struggle, of failure, right? For me to understand that, no, you have to come to a place of clarity. And you know what we say, when you know better, you do better. You have to come to a place of clarity for you to be able to marshal, or permit me to use the word, engineer your reality and govern your action and your thoughts. Now, that's what is called agency. When you have agency, you have the capacity to influence your thoughts and your action in the direction that works for your unique journey, whatever that journey is, right? So consistently, we have continued to make the argument that there is more in the world than your mind can possibly figure out. You have to be capable of seeing beyond what is available, seeing beyond the obvious. And I want to just help you a little bit today, right? To be able to come into that understanding. You can't follow what you see. At every point in time, two things are in the world: what is happening and what is going on. What is happening is the energy of the majority. What is happening is the energy of the majority. Any dummy can see what is happening. It's on the news every day. You know, I don't trust any news channel. It doesn't matter whether it's Fox News or CNN or ABC or Channels TV in Nigeria. It doesn't BBC. It does Al Jazeera. I don't trust any one of them. I'm not supposed to trust any one of them. You know why? Because they are human curations. They are human curations. Anything created by a human being cannot be greeted with belief. Anything created by a human being cannot be greeted with belief. Anything created by a human being cannot be greeted with belief, cannot be greeted with view, cannot be greeted with preference, cannot be greeted with opinion, cannot be greeted with acceptance, cannot be greeted with rejection, cannot be greeted with prejudice. Anything created by a human being must be greeted with curiosity. With curiosity. You greet anything created by a human being with curiosity. In other words, anything created by a human being is laced with agenda. Whether it's an advertisement or is a curriculum in school, or it doesn't matter what it is. There's always an agenda. Someone has created something, trying to do something, and it needs buy-in and it needs skill. Because it needs skill and buy-in, he's going to present that thing in a subliminal way such that you don't see what he's up to, but you will see what he's doing. And he always organizes what he's doing, good or bad. Now, this is true for those who are doing good. This is true for those who are doing bad. It's like a spoon. You can use a spoon to eat. You can use a spoon to kill someone. It's like a gun. You can use a gun to get an antelope in the jungle and feed your family, or you can use the gun to kill human beings. The gun is not the problem. It's the human being holding the gun and its agenda that is the problem, right? So everything in life, good or bad, unto God, unto good or unto evil, always has an agenda behind it, right? Somebody is trying to do something. Now, if you follow the news and just believe everything you see, then you are in the economy of the majority. I call it the common economy of the majority, which means that your purchasing power, the size of your pocket, your desires, your thinking, your assumptions that you hold there are all being your taste, your interpretation, your movements are being governed by people through your permission. And you know, you can't complain about what you permit. You can't complain about what you permit, right? So ideas must be packaged in such a way that it works through your choices. It works through your permissions, right? It works in a manner that makes you feel you are the one doing it. Meanwhile, somebody is curating it, governing your thinking, renting a space in your head, and governing your actions from there, right? But to perpetuate that thing, it has to be believed as what you are doing. The day you really believe somebody is manipulating you, you are going to reject it. You are not going to be part of that. The reason why you stick to what you believe, even when it is wrong, is because you believe it is wrong. Sorry, because you believe it is right, right? Somebody must convince you on a path. So no matter what you are experiencing, you greet it with curiosity, right? Once you are doing that, you are making a distinction. This is what I call discrimination. You are making a selective association with that thing by making a distinction between what is happening that they want you to see and what is really going on that nobody wants you to see, but you must see so that you can manipulate that to your own advantage. When people ask me, who do you vote for? Um, in Nigeria, PDP, APC, who do you support? Labour. In England, who would you rather be, conservative or who do you rather be, or liberals or Labour? Who will you be in America? Republicans? I think none. I have an agenda myself, and everything going on, all different ideologies work for my agenda. I am not independent either. I am not in the middle. No, I have a position, but my position is not in the common positions, and it's not in the defined positions, right? So I take a stake in the options. You know how you have WhatsApp and you have Facebook and you have Instagram, and it doesn't matter the one you prefer. Oh, I like Instagram. I don't like Facebook. It's everybody's game. I like WhatsApp. You are paying one person, Mark. And Mark essentially has created options so that whatever you choose him. That's what it means to live in the options. Stay here. I'm going somewhere, because I've said this thing so many times, but I'm using it as a precursor to lay some thought for you today. So that works. The same way you buy Toyota. Some say, I don't like Toyota. I prefer Lexus. You are paying the same company. In Nigeria, where I come from, you like Peak Milk. You don't like you don't like Three Crowns. It's the same company, right? It's the same company. It doesn't matter which one you like, right? You like DSTV. You don't like Go TV. Well, it is anyone you choose. Whichever fits your pocket, we got you. We got you when you are struggling. We got you when you make it. Whichever way, we have product for everything. Those are people who live in the options, right? They live in the creation of the options, but they give you a sense of control to perpetuate your choice in the direction of their own agenda, right? So you say that because you are making the choice, you are making the choice. So people no longer tell you what to do. No, they don't tell you what to do. In fact, they encourage you to choose and let nobody control your choice. But you see, they've controlled the options. It's like somebody tells you, vote, vote, vote. Don't sell your vote. Die with your vote. Let nobody take your vote. Let nobody deceive you or your vote. Your vote is your power. Your vote is your power, really? And then what happens? Then you have candidates that have been chosen for you. You are not involved in the party administration. You are not involved in the primaries. You are not involved. So you bring your vote to come and make a choice between two candidates or three candidates that have been chosen for you. So your choices has been arrested in the engineering of the options. So what's the power of your vote if you are coming to make a choice between two fools, or between three fools, or between four fools? What is the power of your choice? Yeah, you are going to come and vote, but you are voting essentially for what is available. If you really want to maximize your choice, you have to go beyond voting and be involved in how the candidates emerge, and be involved in party administration, and be involved in the primaries. Get a party ID, whatever you have to do, and get involved. If you don't get involved there, again, you are coming late to the party. Remember, when you are ready, you are late. A lot is going on within the bracket of uncertainty, and there are people who have chosen their own certainty in that uncertainty, who are then curating the experiences of the majority. So as you navigate, you want to be able to know what is going on. Now, they are talking about this, but what is happening? So in America right now, they're talking about immigration. Today is not the day. If I give you 4 things that is going on beyond what is happening, it's not about immigration. It's not about that. I'm not against it, right? I'm not against it, but it's not about that, right? It was like in Nigeria when they were saying, bring back our girls, bring back our girls, bring back our girls. Bring back our girls was essentially what was happening. What is going on? Nobody has the conversation, right? Nobody's talking about that. So part of what you want to see, is the idea that these things are designed to go in a particular direction. And you don't want to be caught napping. You don't want to be in that energy of the majority. You want to be the decision makers. You want to be the scenario planners. You want to be the engineers of human experience. You really want to be a stakeholder in the reality that is being curated on any level, right? So what does that give you? The capacity to anticipate change. Now, let me cut that short and shift you into this preamble. The idea that 2030 is the year everything changes. Everything, guys. Everything changes. So I'm moving between two screens. Everything changes. By 2030, everything changes. Everything as you thought you know it will be so different you won't believe it. And so a lot of business models that you see today that are doing well, you won't see them again in 2030. First of all, by 2030, we're going to trust so less because of COVID and so many things that have happened. Promises that have been broken by power brokers and oligarchs across the world, and nations and governments, and all of the rules and all of the experiences we had, before 2020, more so in 2020, more so after 2020. People are going to be less trusting of governments. But you see, we don't believe in governments, but government will always believe in you. They will believe in you enough to regulate you, to manage you, to tax you, and to create systems that allow them more room in your so-called reality, in your so-called choices, whether we like it or not. I've said it to everybody that care to listen, that whether you see this or not, the future is in the hand of government. Have you ever thought of the fact that land doesn't belong to anybody? That on the elastic state, if we bend time, land is actually long lease. It's actually long lease, right? You don't own it permanently, maybe 100 years. There's room for government to take anything and to take anything back, right? But these are symposium discussions, right? I'm not going to bore you with that today, but there are about 9 different experiences, guys, about 9 of them that you are going. Robots, maybe by 2030, your dog, your cat will be robots, right? Your chef will be a robot, right? Your maid probably be a robot, right? The way everything, your car, you probably will be controlling it with a remote control. You have no idea, right? You have no idea. Plane crash, maybe by 2030, maybe 10 years or 5 years. You will see a plane disengaging, people flying with parachute. You will be stunned. Just imagine life without color TV. Some people live that life. They lived a life. Some people lived without color TV all their life. They never saw it till they died. And they couldn't imagine anything would be better. The mobile phone is an impossible articulation for a particular generation. The car, when the Wright brothers said man could fly, they accused them of heresy because their father was a bishop. They were accused of heresy, that how can man fly? Nobody thought that a device, a machine, is what will make man fly. All they thought about was how a man grow wings and fly. It was impossible. But it was possible, though. And in the same way, we are at the brink of major privacy really dead by 2030. Do you know the implication of that? Do you know what that even means? All kinds of things. Social media, maybe Facebook will be gone. Maybe, come on. Well, high five went. MySpace disappeared. Yahoo, right? So who knows? Google is struggling because a lot of companies came to the AI party late, right? They came late. And so everybody's trying to bring some chat GPO or chat GPT, JPO, some, look at DeepSeek, right? Everybody's trying to compete along that line, because what will be the role of search engines when AI is fully maximized? Have you thought about what I believe very strong in? BrainNet. Have you thought about singularity, the partnership between AI and the human brain? You know how education will look like? I've told people that at some point we can't be taking exams at some point, because imagine that the whole Google, the whole of the internet is in your brain as a chip. So who's going to ask you questions? What question are they going to ask you when you are going to be creating responses faster than the speed of thought? When biology and AI come together, I'm not even talking about the awesomeness of God permitted singularity. Let's leave singularity. I am saying in the next maybe 5 years, maybe 6 to 7 years, we are going to find incredible partnership between the brain, biology, and AI. And I mean, look at oh, there's so much going on already. So much going on already, right? So you could go Google these things. I shouldn't bore you with these things, but at that level, rarely will anybody be testing recall. Already, even some groups of people are now making a case that why should people go to school for medicine? It should be apprenticeship. Why should people go to law school? In fact, there are about 1 or 2 states in the United States who are already canceling bar exams and saying you should go for apprenticeship. It's apprenticeship we want to use, because that is how all knowledge began anyway, before we regulated knowledge to eliminate, quacks and mediocrity and try to create excellence. But in trying to create excellence, we regulated meaning out of our reality, right? And creativity out of our reality. So part of that is you can't shift it away. Somebody knows everything. So if you're going to test him, you have to test what he can do, not what he knows. Because what he knows is assisted with technology. So he knows everything that you know. So is how he can apply what he knows that will be tested. So education is going to be more of the test of doing in the future. It's about how you can apply what you know, because almost everybody can know the same thing. It is how we interpret what we know that will be the standards of education in the future. I predict that even academics has no future. Education will be more practical, and education is not in the classroom necessarily. And academics and education are two different things. Education is what you teach yourself. Academics is what you are taught. So they are two different things. And superior to both is revelation, which is why this conversation is important. Because with all that is ahead of us, fashion will be on a different level, clothing as you know it on a different level, media as you know it on a different level, right? The level of competitiveness you are going to see between cities, between nations, right? China will not take over the world. I can tell you for that. But by 2030, China will be in its highest state of competitiveness. And it will mean a lot for geopolitics, right? On many levels, right? The TV, now I can tell you this one. You will look for the TV, you won't find it. Because it will be disrupted. Everybody will be watching everything on the screen, right? The business model of the traditional TV stations is going to crack. It's just, you can't imagine it now. Yeah, that's how they couldn't imagine that color TV will govern everywhere and black and white TV will be gone. That's why everybody thought typewriter has come to stay. Nobody saw the computer coming, right? Space tourism will be like your imagine you are going for summer and you are going to the moon. And if you are not going to go to the moon, you can have the experience of the virtual reality, alternative reality, So the idea is technology will change everything. And what this means is not just that things are changing. These changes are impacting on how we live, how we love, how we play, how we work, and how we die. Those 5 things are impacting on the businesses you will see, the products you will see, the services you will see. Somebody is making a big case for young people in the future. I said, young people in the future will be more maybe in the gig economy, maybe more of founders and startups. But the workplace, we have a lot of old people with advances in technology, but more advances in biotechnology. People are not going to die like people used to die. People are going to live longer than you can ever imagine, right now is on ground. People are going to live assisted on many levels, more than you can ever imagine. So already, Africa is the population that is getting younger and younger everywhere. People are not dying in America. They are not dying in China. They are not dying in Asia. They are not dying in Europe as we die here. And it's going to get more and more intense. And so, what are you going to have? You are going to have people who, yes, cannot move like the young people can move, but they have the skills of the young people, because anyone can learn these skills. And when they learn these skills, guess what? They are more experienced than you. They can do what you can do on the computer, and they have more experience than you. They have more emotional fortitude than you, more emotional intelligence than you as a young person. They are going to beat you to those jobs. They are going to get the remote jobs more than you can ever imagine. So the future on many levels will be gray, right? You are going to see a lot of gray-haired, experienced tech gurus who are going to continue to build games, who are going to continue to understand data, who are going to continue to understand machine learning and all of that. And they will be in the workplace. You'll be shocked that the person competing with you has 40 years experience. It's not dying. He can do everything you can do. And so you got to be on another level to be communicating value at the time and to be competitive. Don't think what you are doing now will be sufficient. Companies bigger than you have faded. Individuals more prosperous than you have disappeared. People with more powerful capacity. You think that it will always be this way? It won't always be this way. And we have seen it already. It's not even hidden anymore. Everything is hiding in plain sight. Everything is hiding in plain sight. Therefore, there is so much ahead. You need to be nimble. What is nimble? The capacity to respond to change at a moment's notice. The capacity to respond to change at a moment's notice. Guess what? This is not just going to happen like that. No. There is a level of understanding that has to remain with you. What do I call it? Two words: discernment and mastery. I'm going to speak to the two and I'll get out of your face. Discernment and mastery. You need to see those two instruments as critical. Discernment, discernment, discernment and mastery. Discernment and mastery. What does discernment mean? The ability to see without judgment. You know, judgment is a skill. Now, but you need to see different instruments on the horizon for you to make judgment. You need data to make judgment. You need information to make judgment. Now, imagine that you can make conclusions without data. That means you are not calculating, you are seeing, you are interpreting, you are understanding. Please don't think that it's the research rooms that creates the magic you see in sciences. No. All of what you see in the labs and all the efforts is necessary input, preparing them for a moment of visitation. Those who are sharp in their movements are those that are visited with news. You won't be visited if you are not positioned, right? You will not. It's like God cannot tell you, buy this house when you don't have the money. If you don't have the money in your bank account or you don't have the money in your network, you won't even know that house can be bought because you won't get information at all. The information will go to you because the way God has defined the universe and designed the universe, demand does not come to you where investment has not preceded it. God will not make a demand where he has not been invested. You are not going to be asked to stand up if you don't have the capacity to stand up. You are not going to be asked to move if you don't have the capacity to move. So you won't be asked to do anything. It has never happened in history. You must have capacity. Now, that capacity is a gift anybody can have. It's not about bank account. It's not about where you are born. It's not about the degree you have. Those are human standards that you really have to qualify for. These are human gifts that I'm talking about, that has been given to every human being. It doesn't matter where you are born. Now, If you don't pay attention, you will struggle. Now, before I go into the breakdown of that and the practicality of it and how to bring discernment into your life and bring mastery into your life to create what I call necessary nimbleness. Nimbleness is not an option, it's a necessity. It's like water now. You have to be nimble. It's like water, it's like blood to the body, it's like water to the human body, it's brain to the human reality. You need your brain, right? You need to eat. That is how nimbleness is. You must be able to see. I call it necessary nimbleness. Now, before you arrive there, let me just sell something to you. Have you heard about dark matter before? Dark matter. D-A-R-K, dark matter. M-A-T-T-E-R. Then, have you heard about dark energy? About dark energy. You know what matter is? Everything is energy. We know that. There's a lot of energy in the world unknown. There's a lot of matter in the world unknown, in the universe unknown, right? Matter is anything that has weight and occupies space, pretty much. That's what matter is. Now, when they say dark matter is 26% of the universe. 26 or 27% of the entire universe. That's dark matter, right? When they say dark, they mean unknown. So you can change it to unknown matter. We don't know what it is. It's there. We don't even know what it is yet. Is 27% of the universe is unknown matter. You know what matter is? Your phone, your shoe, all that we know, all that has been observed in the world, everything is matter. All that matter, right? 27% of the universe is unknown matter. Now, 68% of the universe is dark energy, unknown energy. When you combine dark energy and dark matter, they form 95% of the universe. So imagine it. All that we have observed, all that we have known, all that we have seen in human history is just 5% of energy and matter. It's just 5%. Car, plane, buildings, ship, what it is, systems, structures, weather, anything that we have known, that we have seen, that we have touched, that we have observed is just 5%. So 95% is still unknown. We don't even know what it is. Let me read you a quote from Nassar. You know Nassar, right? Let me read you a quote from Nassar. Let me read you a quote. I'm quoting Nassar now. This is a publication of Nassar. N-A-S-A. You know what? This might be a surprise, but we don't know what most of the universe is made of. We don't know. Seriously, we don't. We really don't. You might be thinking, but of course we do. It's made of galaxies, stars, planets, black holes, comets, asteroids, and all other cool space stuff. Yes, there is a lot of amazing space stuff that we know, but if we add it all up, it is just a very small part of the entire universe. There is a lot more out there, and we don't fully understand what it is. We don't even understand what it is. 95%. So everything Albert Einstein did, everything Michael Faraday did, Henry Ford, all those big guys in history, Elon, Bill Gates today, Jeff, and all the big things, Branson in the UK, and all the big inventions, the plane, the internet, AI, machines, TV, cinema, and cars, planes, choppers, ship on the high sea, all of that is just 5%. What does that tell you? So much is unknown that is known. Now, when people catch ideas, it is a download from that weighty 95%. So much is still possible. If maybe human beings are still going to walk in the air, maybe we are going to vanish. A device will come and we will vanish, literally. Listen, It may sound stupid. It may sound wild. It may sound like, what is this? But I kid you not, 95% is unknown. They don't know. We don't know what's out there. We don't know anything. All that we know to show you how weak, how fragile, how frail we are is just 5% of all that is out there in the whole of human history. All the advances we have seen, all the ideas, inventions, innovations, strategies, models, theories, philosophies, ideologies, everything we have seen, things, they are all, everything, 5%. Between dark matter and dark energy is 95% of the universe. All of that is just 5% of the universe. 5%. So, who says you cannot sleep tomorrow and a thought visits you as you wake up in the morning? Just a thought. And it says that houses can live in the air. Once you say no. Once you say no, you are blinded by the 5%. You are not open to the 95%. You have to always keep the 95% in your mind. That is how you can see impossibilities. So when anything comes to you and somebody comes and says, guess what? What? Do you know that we can clap and appear in another country? Your response should be, really? How? Not, are you crazy? Once you say, are you crazy? You are in the 5%. Once you say, really? You're in the 95%. Once you get into the 95%, you see, when Jesus is saying words like, with God, all things are possible. If I'm going to say that in contemporary English, I'm going to say, in the 95%, everything is possible. That's what Jesus is saying. Look, he's saying no matter what you see, when he said it, we're not even in 5% of the universe. What we have used and observed when Jesus was saying, with God, all things are possible, it's like 1% or maybe less, because we didn't even have cars. We didn't even have machines. We didn't have computers. We didn't have so many things. I'm sure at that time, we have not used up to 1% of the universe. It's still about 0 point something. Now, with all the advancement of sciences and all that we have seen till today, all that we have seen is still 5% of the universe. So how was it when Jesus was here? How was it when Moses or Elijah was here? They must be in 0.0. You can analyze that. Now, think about it. If people then limit what you can create to what somebody is telling you, to what people have created, to curriculums, I always say to people, the first person who certified people, who certified him? Who certified him? Who certified him? Nobody certified him. He created from the 95%, brought it down, branded it, and said, this is the standard. That's what you call best practice. See, my problem with best practice, standards, models is that, hey, all of them had a beginning. Somebody opened his eyes one day and said, going forward, this is what should be the best practice. It made sense. It can work. But don't ever assume it defines the limits of what is possible, right? That is why somebody can leave Harvard and build Microsoft, because it's not in any classroom. We now know that first in class is not first in life. You have to create your mind by yourself. I come from the West in Nigeria. There's something called, atumbi, meaning, you have to give birth to yourself again, and begin to define your own universe, essentially, because somebody created everything and is trying to make you believe that creation is the beginning of all that is possible. No, it's not the beginning. It's the beginning of what you have created. I can go beyond it. I can go behind it. I can go on top of it. I can create something unprecedented. That doesn't have to come from what you have created. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't have to come from what you have created. What you have created can be something for me to observe. I can build something from that, but there is one to infinity. What human beings try to do is to keep you in one to infinity. They created one, and they say, listen, From now on, think from this one, define from this one, look at yourself from this one, define your possibilities from this one to infinity. Meanwhile, they started from zero to one. That's the energy that created the world. The world was created from nothing, 0 to 1. So those who run things in this world, I'm not talking of businessmen who supply contracts. No. If you supply contracts, you distribute shoes, you are a businessman. You are not an entrepreneur. And entrepreneur, in my view, is someone who bequeath to society something of such intrinsic value that generations yet unborn will be grateful for, will engage and be grateful for, right? So you are birthing solutions. Now, that comes from a 0 to 1 thinking. You are thinking from 0 to 1, from 0 to 1. Now, when you think from 0 to 1, the things you create, you brand it for the world. Now, people now try to make you believe that we've branded it from the world, start from here. No, I will enjoy what you have created, but I want to know where it's coming from. I want to go to the 0 to 1. That 0 to 1, that zone is the 95% zone. There's so much there. Now, your job is to reduce that 95% to maybe 94.2 or 94 or 93, because you can be responsible for 0.00% of that 95. Ooh, do you get me though? Do you get me, people? Do you get me? 0 to 1, guys. Now, this is it. It doesn't matter what you do, there's a 0 to 1 for you. There's something unprecedented that is available. Now, it's either somebody is catching it or you are catching it. The point today is not saying you must be the one catching it, is that it shouldn't catch you unawares. That's what we are saying. That is necessary nimbleness. Necessary nimbleness is not being the one to create. You might not be gifted that way. You may not be designed that way, and it may not be your portion or your legacy. It may not be written of you to be the one to do it. However, no part of that should make you a casualty. No part of that should make you a slave of it. You shouldn't be a casualty of it. You shouldn't be a victim of it. You shouldn't be a casualty of it. Nobody should be a victim of disruption, or a casualty of disruption, or a slave of it. You want, see, if you are on this call, there's something unusual that defines you. That's why this type of conversation is interesting to you. There are people I know who are not going to come here. Some of my people that I know, friends, oh, your thoughts, I'm not ready for all that. It's too stressful, you know. They are not interested. And I don't judge them. It's not that they don't want to. They are not made for it, probably. You see what I'm saying? But you are here. I don't know what part of the world you are in. There are people here from London, people here from Kenya, South Africa, Lagos, Nigeria, New York, Dallas, Belgium, Paris, Frankfurt, Berlin. I don't know what part of the world you are in, but you have chosen to be here and to maximize your time in this manner. Listen, you are born for something beyond the obvious. Beyond the obvious. And with all that is coming, I've shown you 2030. You should be a stakeholder in it, right? Because there's so much more to know. Yes. So push yourself in that regard and begin to think about that. When you begin to have perception without the without the privilege of data, that is revelation. Revelation, however, is not intelligence. Revelation is visitation. Revelation is visitation. And 95% of the universe is downloadable, is available for download. And that is where revelation comes from. God controls that, because science will tell you for a fact they don't even know what it is, how much more to control it. Everybody is just struggling and trying to, even AI, we don't know all the possibilities yet. Everybody is struggling and just following, and we keep moving. Call it crypto, digital currency, call it whatever. Oh, let's just keep moving. Everybody's moving. Everybody who is changing the game have realized that we don't need to know the 95% before we begin to move. Let us move with whatever comes. We just keep moving. We'll be meeting ourselves as we move on the journey and meet our necessary experiences as we gravitate towards the future. The future, however, is gravitating towards us. And come unto me, and I will come unto you, is that there is movement on both sides. So keep moving, because I am moving, and that is God. And as He's moving, you are moving. That is the economy of that is how transactions work. That is how that exchange happens, right? But you must be in a position to be able to receive, because what is happening is the future will visit you, and then you have to recognize the future when it comes, because it will always come as something intangible. It's going to come as a thought, as an idea, something you cannot touch, but you have to see. And then you have to be able to recognize it. You have to be able to welcome it by hosting it and giving it residency. I've explained that on many levels, and you get more data on that when my book come out. But let's focus quickly before I go into mastery and I close this out. Let's spend some time on discernment, right? Let's spend some time on discernment. So there are some key words that are key for discernment. I'll list them for you guys. Are you here? I'll list them for you. Now, you can't discern just because you have money in the bank. Money in the bank is proof of hard work and networking. It's not proof of discernment, right? It's not proof of discernment. Now, I kid you not, guys. The future coming will humble people. The future is about 4 things, guys. The future is about 4 things. Listen to me. When I say future, there's a lot of it. I'm talking now 2025 to 2030. If you follow me, you know that I call 2023 to 2030 as 7 years of perfection. 7 years of perfection. Now, this is numbers. Stay with it. 7 years of perfection. What does that mean? Whatever you do or did not do, whatever you will do or will not do in the next 7 years is the foundation of your life for the next 30 years. You are not doing anything more than you are not going to do, because from 2030, you are responding, building on what these 7 years will mean for you. Whatever you start or don't start in the next 7 years is the foundation of what you are going to manage for the next 30 years. Believe me. Now, I don't care how old you are, add 30 years to yourself. You will see where you will be. If you are not a full-blown adult, you will be so full-blown, you will be at the departure lounge of life, ready to take the flight, or you will have taken the flight. Because if you are 20 now, you'll be 50. If you are 30, you'll be 60. If you are 40, you'll be 70. If you are 50, like me, 54, you'll be 84. If you are 60, you'll be 90. How many 90-year-olds do you know? If you are 60, you'll be 90. If you are 70, you'll be 100. In fact, to be honest, you'll probably be gone. The idea is the future is already defined. The next 30 years is not an assumption anymore. It's functional reality. It's as clear as a paper, except you are not reading. It's like a pen. It's so clear, like your name, like your hands. So you need data. You see, on the 22nd, now let me pause and say this. 22nd of February to 24th, my annual event, Feedback from the Future, will be 10 years. Deliberately, we are doing this in February. We normally do it in January. Everybody should plug in. Tomorrow, on all my social media platforms, I'm going to announce a particular code, right, for anyone, because we are getting some sponsorship and some people are pushing me to say, don't put a gate fee on this thing. Do it for free. We'll sponsor. We'll give something. I will give. And if you want to sponsor, let me know. But people said we want to, so they said, make it free. This is too critical to put a gate fee, and then some people cannot afford it. So we are reinventing the website right now. We want to make it available to people. But to do that, of course, we're going to have to lean on sponsorship. But this is my idea. You can't afford to miss it. You are free to miss many things. This is not about planning, goal setting. You will make it. You will succeed. Plan. Vision board. No, that's not what it is at all. This is clarity, intelligence, prescience, the end from the beginning. You see, receiving instruction, downloads about how the future will go. We're going to break down the future of media, the future of real estate, the future of agriculture, farming, the future of fashion, clothing, the future of religion, the future of religion, religion as you know it, organized religion as you know it is not in the future. You're not going to believe it, right? It's okay. But it's not in the future. Something else. Spirituality will grow. Faith will expand. Organized religion as you know it cannot survive Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and Gen Beta. It can't survive it, right? It can't. The regimentation of and the authority and reverence that is required to keep religion going. Those three generations don't have it. It's going to crash. Something deeper will now emerge. So there will be spirituality and faith. There will be a less ossified version of what we know as religion today. But what we know as religion today will crack. Now, 4 things will define the future. 1, I will speak of 3. I will hold back 1. 1 is the fading of powers and voices as you have known. The fading of powers and voices as you have known, guys. Listen. The fading of powers and voices as you have known. The fading of powers and voices as you have known. Number 2, the rise of powers and voices as you are yet to know. The rise of powers and voices as you are yet to know. Let nobody get comfortable. The next 5 years is defining the fading of powers and voices as you have known. Financial powers and voices, economic powers and voices, political powers and voices. Think I can go on and on. Media powers and voices. Powers and voices will fade, and then the rise of powers and voices in ways we have not known. In ways we have not known. The fading of powers and voices as we have known. The rise of powers and voices as we are yet to know. 3, not just the rise of powers and voices. 3, the rise of underdogs. No-name boys and girls, men and women rising to states of prominence, authority, and influence in a way unprecedented. Listen, you thought you've seen billionaires? You are going to see a new level of trillionaires. You know how it starts. Nations become, there was a time there was no millionaire in the world. There were only thousandaires. There was a time there were no billionaires in the world. There were only millionaires. Nations become millionaires. Organizations become millionaires. And then individuals become millionaires. That's how we go. Then nations became billionaires. Then organizations became billionaires. Then individuals became billionaires. Now, nations have become trillionaires. Organizations are becoming trillionaires. Individuals are going to become trillionaires. The people you call billionaires today, you are going to be seeing them like you see millionaires now. You know the way you see millionaires now, and you don't reckon with thousandaires? That's how you are going to see billionaires in the future. You won't reckon with millionaires because the average person, lower middle class, will be a millionaire. It won't be just like the average person is a thousandaire right now. That will be the millionaire of the future. These things are not 20 years away. 5 years, 6, 7, that's when you're going to be experiencing these things, right? There are already 3 people I can give you who are already jogging, ready for that status, completely ready for that status. Think about that. Now, let me stretch you a bit. Let me just stretch you a bit and let you see how you then must position so that you are either a force or a power that gets stronger as opposed to the one that is fading, right? Or you will be the new powers and voices that are rising, or you will be the underdogs, the no-name boys and girls, men and women that are rising into states of prominence, authority, and influence in a way unprecedented, right? You have to be in that group. What do you need to sharpen, though? You need to sharpen your sense of selectiveness, what I call discrimination, your sense of perception, your sense your sense of insight, acumen, penetration. Discrimination, selectiveness, perception, insight, penetration, acumen. Now, how do you do that? You know what the beginning of all of that is? Knowledge. What does that mean? The ability to see. Now, everybody talks about strategy. Everybody talk about strategy, strategy, strategy. Do you know that if you unpack it, strategy is coming late to the party? Strategy is coming late to the party. Strategy is coming late to the party. Believe me, there's something that precedes strategy. Now, in most parts of third world countries, they don't prioritize that. And that is strategic foresighting. Strategic foresighting. Now, between strategic foresighting and stratagem, 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 strategic foresighting, otherwise called prescience, which is how God moves. That's how the devil moves with strategy. God moves with strategy and prescience. The devil only moves with strategy. Sorry, with stratagem. The devil doesn't move with strategy. He moves with stratagem. God also moves with stratagem plus prescience. The ability to declare the end from the beginning. But the devil does probability and mathematics, which is discrimination, which is selective reasoning. Selective reasoning. So the benefit of insight is to see all available instruments on the table and be able to interpret. So in other words, patterns, trends. I have seen, I'm the devil. I've lived for millions of years. I have seen 15,000 people who are behaving like PK right now. They are behaving like PK, talking like PK. They all behave like PK. They talk like PK. So 15,000 of them in the last 200,000 years. This is how they ended. They all ended as game changers. They ended as this. The ones we stopped them here. The ones we couldn't stop, they became this. So with that probability, I can predict where this PK is going and what it will become. That's math. That's math. Using data, known knowledge to pretty much analyze trends and define outcomes from that. So a lot of forecasting, a lot of prescient forecasting, a lot of strategic foresighting, but prescience is doing that without data. Doing all of that without data, meaning that you see the end and you are acting based on the end that you see. Now, most companies in America who are shaping culture, that is how they function. They want to know, so they employ futurists. You see cartoons who are predicting the future, right? Cartoons, you see shows, movies from Hollywood introducing you to technology before it arrives. They are showing you Mars that we are living there before it happens. Those are the work of futurists, and people sit down to do that, but they do that by studying patterns. I can also tell you for free that there will be abundance of food. Some people say, oh, GMO. I understand GMO, but there's no science that suggests that it's bad for you. Believe me, there's no science. There's going to be an abundance of food. We're going to have a lot of prosperity as well in that 2030. I wish I have time to break that down when we begin to look at biotechnology and all that is happening in the agricultural space and all of the possibilities in there. People will eat because there will be amazing supply of food. There will be incredible transition with water. Already in Singapore, they drink sewage water. They found a system to convert that into drinkable water. Believe it. So there will be a lot of engineering happening at that time. But let me bring this home. Let me just bring this home by letting you see that part of what is going to happen is your ability to sit into that. How do you then do prescience, which is the game, which is the real game, because you will not always have the privilege of data. You won't be in the room to see everything. You won't have enough information. You won't be privileged to see all the research, but you can have helicopter view over these things. And that comes by you learning the possibilities and having the discipline to curate that. Because of time, I can't do a lot. Today is to give you a gift, and this gift that I'm giving is to also prepare you for 22nd to 24. If you are on this call, do whatever you can to block those days off, either online or in person. And for those who are going to be in person, it's going to happen in person in Abuja. Get ready for it and break your time, save your tickets, find your travel time, make sure you are in the room. If you can't make it for any necessary pragmatism, then hook up online. But the idea is you got to be strong for that. You got to be ready for that. Now, let me quickly pause on discernment and quickly speak about mastery. Mastery essentially only means one thing. By 2030, no matter who you are, you have to be not just an expert in what you do. You have to be an authority in what you do. I've taught this before. Mastery for me is not knowing how to do things. Mastery for me is not knowing how to repeat things. Mastery for me is understanding your natural gifting first, so that you are not competing. Understanding your natural gifting, your talent, and your gifting, understanding that. Now, organizing that into a skill, What do I mean by that? You can plan events. I've given this example a billion times. You can plan events. That's a natural gift. You've been planning events since high school. Now you are in college. You've done all of that. You've been planning events. But you can't go out to look for contracts and deals and say, I've been planning events. It's easier when you say, I have a project management certification. I have a project management certification. The moment you say you have that, you have converted your natural ability into a recognizable, transferable skill within the system. The system understands project management. They don't understand natural ability. So the moment you make that conversion, you've graduated from natural ability into skill. You have converted your natural ability into a skill. What is a skill? Organized gift, organized talent. That is a skill. That is a skill. Natural gifting says, I have it. Skill says, I can do it. I've organized it. You can see it. Even before I do anything, I have project management certification. So minimum level of expression, I have this certification. So I'm skillful. But you need to move beyond skill, because like I've said many times, this future is coming for the masters of their field, not just anybody, the masters of their field. So you have to transcend the limits of skill and demonstrate competence. What is competence? Positively deployed skill. So gifting says, I have it. Skill says, I can do it. I've organized it. Competence says, I do it. I do it. I do it. So competence is not a state of being. Competence is demonstrated value. Skill says, I have it. I've organized it. I can do it. Competence says, I do it. For example, you are a striker. You can play soccer. You are number 9. Every soccer team, every football team, we have like 4 strikers or 5 strikers or 6 strikers in the team, but only 2 or 3 will wear the jersey. Only 2 or 3. Everybody is skillful, but the ones that wear the jersey, they are the competent ones. They are the ones that are able to put the ball in the net faster and more consistently than anyone. That is a competent person. So when you are competent, you are not saying what you can do. You are showing what you can do. You do it. That's a competent person. We have many skillful people who are not competent. They've not demonstrated that the value of their skill by showing demonstrable results, right? Now, competence itself is not enough. What is enough is still higher than that. But the next level of that is expertise. What is expertise? Track record of competence. You see that competence? I do it. Track record of it. So gifting says, I have it. Skill says, I can do it. I've organized it. Competence says, I do it actually. Expertise says, I do it again and again and again and again. I have done it again and again and again and again. That is expertise. So track record of competence. Track record of competence. But guess what? That's not the future. The future, therefore, is authority. You have to transcend skill to authority. To authority. Now, what is authority? What is that? What is that? Authority is the highest expression of expertise. What does that do? I've not just done it again and again. I have done it across different sectors, different industries, and most importantly, I have taught others to do it. That's authority. That's authority. So when you are an authority, you are not just showing what you can do. You are showing people who can produce what you have produced and who can reproduce what you can do. In other words, you have converted all you know how to do into a reproducible format where you are birthing another generation. That is authority. You see what I'm saying? So gift says, I have it. Skill says, I can do it. Competence says, I do it. Expertise says, I do it again and again and again and again. Authority says, I do it again and again, yes, but I do it across different sectors. And most importantly, I have produced other doers like me. That's authority. When the future comes, the whole world, as a matter of fact, this is for Africans, are coming to Africa to engage. We are 1 billion people ready to buy. We are the next market. The future is black and they are coming for you. When they come, they are not coming for the talented or the gifted. They are not coming for the competent. They are not coming for the skillful. They are not coming for the expert. They are not coming. They are coming for the authority. There's one more level, but I won't talk about that until you meet me at the Indaba, February 22nd to 24. I'll give you that. Now, when you have all of that, and then you have the discipline of nurturing discernment. Now, let me be honest with you. For you to curate your discernment, you need mastery on one side. Mastery on one side. Sorry, for you to curate your necessary nimbleness, you need mastery on one side. You need discernment on the other side. Now, for you to be in this discernment, I'm going to be very honest with you. You can't be eating 3 square meals. Nothing will meet you. Sorry. You can't be eating morning, afternoon, and night. The human being is not designed to eat like a fool, and I've been there. I've eaten like a fool. I added weight. I was big. It slowed me down on many levels. You won't even account for it because nobody will punish you for it. Nobody will hold you accountable to it. But you have no idea that what you are losing is not your ability to do. What you are losing is your ability to receive from the 95%. You see, when they tell you lose weight, or do this, do that, they are talking to you about what you can do. That's not the game. You don't have to, you can keep doing it. Sumo wrestlers are big. They can beat you up. They are fit. You can be big and fit. That is not the issue. The issue is if you carry more than your body can carry, less blood is flowing to your brain. And so your brain is not maximized at the level of production it should be maximizing, essentially. And I know you don't believe this. I know most of you are angry right now that, what's this guy saying? What's he talking to me about my food? Listen. Your ancestors who built all these things that you love, they didn't have the privilege of eating 3 square meals. 3 square meals is a human invention. Listen, God who made man, fed man a couple of times in the Bible. He fed man. In the wilderness, he fed man twice, morning and evening. He didn't feed anybody 3 times. Elijah at the brook of Cherith, he fed him twice, morning and evening. I can go on. There's nowhere God who made the body fed anybody 3 times. You eat too much. You will hear nothing. Listen, you will just be hearing the echoes of men, the recyclable and the recycled intelligence of men at best. You will hear everything but your own story. You will hear everything but yourself. You will be massive copy and compromise your genius. Your genius is hidden in your own design. You are not going to be rewarded. You are not going to be recognized for your similarities. You are going to be rewarded for your difference. And so rise up. I'm not going to fool you, men. You cannot continue to dimension your greatest strength to your capacity to feed your tummy. You got to get off that so that blood can flow to your brain. Because people tell me, PK, I want to be like you. I said, well, are you aware that I don't eat, I only eat after 36 hours? And I'm not saying you go and do 36 hours. 16 hours a day of no food is okay. Eat for 6 hours, eat for 8 hours, and stop. And end it early so that your sleep can be sweet. Again, you must be drinking a lot of water. I know you are very upset now. I thought people will be telling me about some. No, you are not receiving from a lecturer. You are receiving from the 95%. You have to be in a state. Your sleep has to be sweet. Eat well, stop eating early, drink a lot of water, and go to bed early, at least 4 times a week. Go to bed 10 and sleep 7-8 hours. Go and see a doctor to help you to track that timing so that you are not sleeping digesting food and you just log yourself off 95%. You log yourself off it. So stay awake. By that, I don't mean don't sleep. I mean keep your spirit awake so that you can download night to night, pour forth knowledge. That's scripture. Night to night, pour forth knowledge. Every time you go to bed, what you are doing is putting your entire universe in a state of rest to connect the 95%. You will just wake up smart, wake up clear. You will just wake up strong because you are connected to that level, right? Of course, all kinds of things will be chasing you in your dreams. It's not because they are chasing you. It's your sleep and overeating that is fabricating all kinds of energy against you, right? They say no weapon formed against you shall prosper. It is true all night long. But the weapon you form against yourself, it will prosper. Again, I go to bed, try and put, particularly for you, for those of you who use an iPhone, put it on flight mode so that you can sleep and there are no all kinds of fields disturbing your real field. Sleep is a miracle. That is where the game happens. So I'm going to challenge you to this year, eat less, sleep more. It's not hustling. You don't need to be jumping up and down. You don't need to be running up and down. Sleep more. He giveth his beloved sleep, good sleep. Now I get home, I just go to bed, I just shut down. I want to sleep. I sleep 7 hours, 8 hours. Sleep, exercise. Just 30 minutes of work. It's not a lot. Just exercise. Put some metal in your room. Just some dumbbells and do something. Just keep your blood flowing. What is fasting? I can explain so many things, but the science of it, you are sending blood to your brain. You are sending blood to your brain. So the less you eat, the more of that you get, right? And I'm not saying do like me. I do 36. I eat. Today's my eating day. And it's not intentional. It happened that if my birthday had fallen on my fasting day, I'm not eating, right? But today's my eating day, and I have a window of 6 hours to 8 hours. After that, 36 hours before I do the next one. So when I come here and I'm speaking, I say, wow, deep. Well, listen. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. There's so much in the world. I'm in the 95%. I'm in the 95%. I say it anywhere. If it's on Google, I don't talk about it. I don't want to talk about anything you can Google. If you don't want to talk about anything people are going to go and be Googling, then you better stay in the 95% so that you can be downloading. And I pray that you understand this, right? Let me also give this to you. Read 20 pages a day, no matter what you do, no matter how busy you become. Read 20 pages, 20, just 20 pages of anything. I don't care what it is. 20 pages a day. Just take in 20 pages a day. 20 pages. Please don't come and touch me and say I received. Don't touch me. I will push you away. Don't touch me. I'm giving you now what you need to go and touch. Touch your food, touch your water, drink a lot of water every day. Touch your water, touch your food, touch your body with the brief, small exercise. Don't kill yourself in the gym. You're not trying to win 100 meters in the Olympics and you're not a weightlifter. You don't go and kill yourself. Just stay in the game. 30 minutes. 30 minutes a day. Not a lot. Just walk your cardio, send blood to your brain, and you are good. Right? Then sleep well, but read 20 pages every day. You see, 20 pages every day. Now, by the time you come back, there are some other things I want to talk about. I want to talk about your war room. Your war room and how you need to begin to select people who's you can play with anybody, but don't allow anybody speak to your journey. Don't allow anybody be part of the curation of your experiences. Your war room is for warriors. People who can stand with you, people who can interpret, judge, who see beyond the obvious. You need to get them into your room. People have put me under pressure. They said, PK, we need your mentoring. I said, the problem I have is what I have to give is so much that I'm saying, do I have time? I'm doing my best to put something out now. I'm doing my best, and maybe I'll announce something soon. But you need to go out of your way to get the right people into your war room. I don't have eyes. What's the time? I need to know if I can break down war room. You see, your war room is key because whether you like it or not, there is a contention for your space under the sun. And listen, this contention is not by demons. The demons don't do nothing except they find human representations. The devils don't do nothing except they find human engineers. God doesn't do nothing except he finds human engineer. Both God and the devil are always looking for a human being to stand in the gap. Always. Always. The spiritual realm can do nothing here without human cooperation. And so when you want to fight the enemy, don't be looking at the skies. Don't think there is human beings around you. So you have to become selective about the premium you place on human beings in geographies and in moments. Key. And to understand that, you need to deliberately make the discrimination between your minors and your majors. Your minors and your majors. What is minor? Anything that is not destiny sensitive is a minor. Some argument, Messi, Barcelona is better than Arsenal. What kind of argument is that? You can have a conversation on that, not an argument. Argument is energy. I just told you about dark energy. All of that is going on. You are burning your energy, arguing Ronaldo is better than Messi. Arguing, you can discuss it. But no part of that should take your serious exchange. Laugh it off and go. Those things are comedy. Anything, I don't care what they are, as long as they are not destiny sensitive. If you say, if these things work, what is the impact on my journey? If these things fail, if it goes bad, what is the impact on my journey? Anything that has no direct impact on your journey is not deserving of your energy. It's not qualified to be in your maximum focus. You have to name it a virus and compartmentalize it either as a minor or an unnecessary. Whichever way, let people qualify. Let things qualify. Let places, let moments qualify for the investment of your energy. Energy is everything. The wood is energy. Your floor is energy. Your socks is energy. Everything is energy. Every human being, energy. Energy. Ooh, that's my pastor right there. I've seen so many people, but this is man of God. PJ, I see you, PJ. Thank you for coming here. I have to stop. I mean, Hold on. Time is up. But guys, let me let you see this, man. See this and understand that this is the way it goes. If you don't take these things serious and you refuse to allow this discrimination, permit me to use that word, this selective reasoning, let people qualify for the investment of your energy, because everything is energy. Everything. But the superior goal of that is the curation, engineering of your war room. Your war room. And so when you meet people, don't tell them, but in your mind, as you are relating with them, you are putting them in one of those two places. This person is going into my minor or my major. Minor or major. There are people I see, I hug them as I'm finishing, I know minor. The next person we are talking, 30 minutes of talk, minor. I talk to somebody, minor. Major, minor. Create two columns of exchange, minor and major. Let everybody go into the minor who have zero impact on your journey, on your destiny, on your legacy. Now listen to me. The people who come to kill you, if you can label them that this guy, if this is gold, it's not minor, it's major. Major is not just people who want to do you good. Major is anybody with the capacity to elevate you or the capacity to destroy you. They are all major. You must put them in the bracket of major. The people with the capacity to do nothing, they are the minors. Even if they can't hurt you, they can't harm you, they can't do anything positive, they can't do anything negative. Anything or anyone that cannot do positive or negative, they can't do what is positive to you, they can't do what is negative to you, they are doing the greatest negative to you. They are doing the greatest negative to you. Anyone, no matter who they are. So I'm not just talking of people who are nice to be in your major and people who are mean to be in your... No. Anyone with the capacity to give you a great experience or a defeating experience is a major person. That means take a second look at them. Don't take them lightly. Be present when you are with them. Let your eyes be seeing and interpreting, and don't be afraid of interpretation. I would rather interpret wrong than be naive and interpret nothing. I would rather interpret wrong than don't name people. Now take this statement from me. Take it from me. To be able to do this well, you must be courageous to be ready to name people for who they are, not for who you want them to be. Name people for who they are, not for who you want them to be. Most of us, we are too nice and too weak to name people for who they are, to name environments for what they are, to name things for what they are. We name things for who we want them to be, for where we want them to be. Somebody is a thief. This is a thief. This person is a thief. Now, it doesn't mean you won't talk to him or you run away from him, but don't put your treasures that can be stolen in his hands. You need that interpretation. We're talking discernment here. You don't negotiate that. You will rather be wrong. It's better to be wrong. Let me tell you something. Now, you will not believe this and you can fight this. Decisiveness is superior to right decision. Decisiveness is superior to right decision. Why? Because you never know a right decision until the results come. You have to act whichever way. You have to act regardless, right? So what if once you are decisive, though, you have responded in the moment. Whether it turns out good or not, the universe compensates that. God has designed the universe to compensate anomalies. The universe compensates anomalies, and anomalies are the bracket of your imperfection, your blind spots. The universe is designed to honor and respect, right, your intentional incursions. In that, the fact of imperfection exists. Remember how I started? Imperfection is a constant. So your imperfection does not shock God. He anticipated it and he has prepared for it by ensuring that there are compensations embedded in the universe to make up for your wrong judgments. But you have to make judgment. You cannot say that you are not acting because you are not sure, because you don't want to fail. You don't want to get it wrong. What we don't know tomorrow. Well, I don't need to know tomorrow. I know the owner of tomorrow, and this is how he has designed things. You have to be able to take maximum action at any point in time. At any point in time. And I hope you get that. So don't wait for perfect moments. Don't wait for perfect moments. You have to be bold to interpret. Don't be afraid to say, what if I'm wrong? If you are wrong, the universe compensates that. You will suffer for not acting, right? You can be delayed for acting wrong, but you will never lose for acting. If you act right or wrong, as long as you acted, there's redemption for every action. There is no redemption for the actions you did not take. And you will miss the target for 100% of the actions you did not take. You will miss the target for 100% of the actions you did not take. Believe me, you will miss that target. There is redemption for the actions you take. There is zero redemption for the actions you did not take. So you have to get big. Exercise on your caution. I mean, your caution should be research, fact-finding, whatever it is, prayer, do whatever you have to do. But you have to take action, right? I will stop here today, right? But before I do, I want to round this up with something you already know. There is a theory called the red car theory. And I want to read something for you real quick. The red car theory. The red car theory. It's not my idea. You can Google it if you want. The red car theory. The red car theory is a metaphor that suggests people are more likely to notice things they focus on. People are more likely to notice things they focus on, such as red cars. It can be applied to many aspects of life, including personal growth, professional success, and digital marketing, right? How does that work? Selective attention. The red card theory is a way to explain selective attention, which is when people notice something more frequently after they become aware of it. In other words, you saw a car. You've never used to see this car. Somebody tell you, there's this car. I want you to buy it. Come and look at the car. From the day you saw that car, you are not seeing this car all these years. From the day you saw that car, everywhere you turn, you just see the car. You see the car. You see the car. You are seeing a lot of the cars now because that car has been brought into your context. That car has been brought into your focus, right? So the moment you can see it came into your focus, you now began to see the car. The cars have been there all this while. You didn't notice them because it was not in your context. You see what I'm saying? It was not in your context. Now, let me read something to you. This is very important. Let me read something to you. The red card theory suggests that opportunities are always present. Opportunities are always present, but people may not notice them if they are not actively looking for them. If they are not actively looking for them. And I put it this way, you will never find what you are not deliberately looking for. You will never find what you are not deliberately looking for. You see, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. What you don't know, you don't know. Until you begin to put things in perspective, they will not show up in your reality. In Hebrews chapter 11, the Bible says, if they are thought of the country they were coming from, they will have had opportunity to return. If they are thought, listen to this wisdom, guys. Listen to this wisdom. If they had thought of the country they were coming from, they will have had opportunity to return there. They were trying to go forward, and they went forward, and they all made it by faith. And he's saying, if they had thought about the country they were coming from, they will have had opportunity to return. You know what that means? Two words you can pick out of that. Thought, opportunity. Thought. If they had thought, they will have had opportunity to return. What does that mean? Opportunities come in the direction of your dominant thoughts. Opportunities come in the direction of your dominant thoughts. If you don't put it in focus, you don't see. You don't see those cars because they are not in focus. Now, where am I going? Mastery, exercising your faculty. What does it do? It puts you in context and it brings everything. What you are saying to the universe is, I am here. See me. You are telling the elements, see me. You are telling the 95%, I am here. If you send it to me, I will engage it. If you send it to me, I will use it. Send it. I'm skillful. I'm gifted. I know I have gifting. I've organized it. I'm skillful. I'm an expert. I'm competent. I'm an authority. Send it. I can take it. The moment you are building yourself this way, you are telling the elements, you are telling the universe, you are announcing to everything made by God that I am more than the bracket of the 5%. I am available in the 95%. Send it to me. You see, that is why the Bible says, he that is faithful, more will be given. He said, he that is not faithful, even what he has will be taken. And guess what? It won't be given to the poor. It will be given to the one who has. The one who is always multiplying and seeking engagement is the one who gets it. People don't get because they are smart. People get because they exercise their faculty. They exercise their faculty. And as long as you keep your faculty engaged, keep yourself engaged, spirit, soul, and body. Soul and body. Body, I've told you. Sleep more, drink water more, exercise more, eat less. Soul, read, study, but most importantly, you can't read everything. Keep your mind on 20 pages per day. Build your war room. Strengthen your mastery. Everything is coming to you. Remember, goodness and mercy shall not be before you to be pursued all the days of your life. That's also. Goodness and mercy shall follow you. Everything you need is gravitating towards you. Looking for you, you are looking for it. For 30 years, 25 years, 46 years, 52 years, I don't know how old you are. You have been chasing what is chasing you, and you have been missing each other for 36 years, for 42 years. You need to calm down. Stop looking to people. You are your sponsor. And if you focus on all I have said, your sponsors will come to you to seek position. You won't need to be chasing human beings all over the place. The reason why we run around and we go cap in hand, thinking that a begging bowl is a pathway to prosperity of any kind, is because we understand everything but our own personal power. When you begin to function in this realm, that is when you rise from your little corner in a village in Congo, or in Brazzaville, or Nairobi, or Johannesburg, or Lagos, or Edo, or somewhere in Nkalagu, or somewhere in New York, or Dallas, and create something that the whole world is investing in. It can happen, but it doesn't happen by going outside of yourself. It starts with honoring your own design. What does that mean? Accept your story. Accept your story. Accept your story. Embrace your journey. Trust the future. Everything is coming. Align and set yourself with design. And if we are related, we will meet soon. Very soon. Advice to you, find my website, put it on the screen, please, for the Indaba. Go look for the Indaba from tomorrow, by this time tomorrow, from 8 p.m. Nigerian time tomorrow, 1 p.m. US Central Time, 8 p.m. UK or 7 p.m. UK. From that time tomorrow, Monday, go to this website. There will be a category opened for you to register. Start seeking registration and make sure you make it into the room. It's 10th year anniversary of Feedback from the Future. The theme, the 2025 breakthrough. The 2025 breakthrough. I am forecasting 2025 all the way to 2030 and beyond. Catalyzing 6 years of global reinvention, and how only the agentic and the intelligentsia will define, lead, and shape tomorrow's success. Secure your seat at feedbackfromthefuture.com, right? Get in there and make sure that you are plugged in. If you have any issues, use the WhatsApp link there to ask questions, or DM me directly and we'll take it from there. It's been a pleasure. It's been a good time having you tonight. I would have loved to take questions, but it's a free event. I have the right to go. I have the right to go. But I've had a great time. Tell everybody about this. Don't be an onlooker. Don't be a spectator. Get involved. Find something to do. Join the team. I see you all here. I'm trying to find some names to mention. PJ, again, thank you for coming. Ruth, Queen Ruth, I see you. Mo Oyekon, I see you. Agoze, I see you. Dream Touch, I see you. Tunde Salau, come on. Who else do I see here? Lens. Who do I see? Lens. Lens is all over the place. Sunday Oko, Elon Gospel. Royal Hogs, I see you. Queen Esther, I see you. Who else? I see everybody. I see you. Victor Daniel, yes. Successful Neo, I see you. Who am I missing? Emeka Nwabuwen. I hope I didn't miss your name. Charles, I see you. Who else is here? Cancel, Lawrence, Emmanuel Bamidele, I see you. Ayodele, I see you. Who am I missing? House of Kushi Stitches, I see you. Tayo Ashley, all the way from Maryland. I see you, Tayo. Kolawole Olufemi, keep moving. All righty. Shegun Adeniji, I see you. Emmanuel Bamidele, I see you. Sarah Oluwafemi, Bamkefa, I see you. Who else am I missing? Who else is here? AI the influence. Thank you all for wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for everything. I need to go now. What else? Hey, you're my. Paulo Yeusi, I see you. Anybody I'm missing? If I didn't mention your name, you know the love is one. I see you all the same. Mayowa Olusoji, Blessing Johnson, Akimbola Abudu, right? I see you all. Is anybody I'm missing? Okay. Ben Abu, I see you. Oluwatosin Joseph, Toes, I see you. All right. Okay, people, be blessed. Keep shining. Peace out. If we are related, we will meet soon. Join the movement. Don't stop. Look for all the platforms and be part of the movement. Make sure you are part of the movement. Connect everywhere on social media. Let's go. Love you with all strength, and I wish you the best of the day. All right? Take it out.
I always say to people that the best of you is always in you, but the completion of you is going to visit you. I always say to people that the best of you is always in you, but the completion of you is going to visit you.